Hello and welcome to World Tanks with me, Jack the Ripper, and this may be one of the luckiest Fadin medals you'll ever see. The game is nothing that special, and in a way it sort of gives me a lot of opportunities to talk during the background about some of the decision-making process and things, which I'm told is one of the things that everyone prefers. But you'll see I have a disgusting AP to APCR loadout. This is very nice matchmaking as well for this tank. This was while I was on my 3 mark grind. I'd finished the tank, I'd basically done the grind, and I was at 90% or something like that. And I thought, sorry, I'll try and 3 mark the thing. As a result of trying to 3 mark the thing, I actually have the best WN8 on out of anyone on Xbox by over 1200, and probably second or third best in the world total. So that was kind of nice, but that's what happens when you spam APCR. But yeah. So in this game I'm platooned up with my friend Strider, who quite frankly sort of has a better game than me. He just dies a bit earlier. We decided, he said, am I going to be going to that the famous bush over there where he's stopping up in D7 sort of area? And I said, no, you can have it anyway. So he's gone up there, he's going to be getting there. If I remember correctly, he was actually quite drunk at this time, so he was doing surprisingly well. I'm more interested in damage here than I am in spotting, or just spotting. Yeah, this is not the most accurate gun, and my shooting was a bit crap. So, as a combination of things, that's not a good mix. This game really sort of, kind of a couple heads and tails sort of aspect to this game. There's a couple of times where it seems like it's going to go one way, then it might be another way, and as I say, the ending is sort of given away by the Fadins medal, but even up to the point where it happens, I think you still might be quite pleasantly surprised at the fact that it even happens. Accuracy letting you down. And that is something you're going to have to be aware of with the less accurate guns. I didn't actually realise until quite a while back that the general accuracy nerf that PC had, we have now had. But we haven't had it in the same format. It's the same... well, that's not true. Not same format. It's the same scale would be a better way of wording it. So we have had a lot less done than they have, from what I can tell. I don't think there's any actual wording on the exact percentage because there never was for PC. But I play PC, and if you aim at a drive wheel from 400 meters, there is literally about a 1 in 1,000 chance that you're actually going to hit that drive wheel. Even with some of the most accurate guns in the game, it just doesn't seem to happen. Whereas on Xbox, you can pull it off. You know, if you're in one of the more accurate tanks, you can usually pull it off quite regularly. I mean, even things like 140s, which aren't the most accurate, but certainly not inaccurate, they can pull it off. Is this where I pull off an absolute bullcrap shot? Is it here? Yes. I'm not even sure where that penetrated. I think that penetrated through his hatch. But I just don't know how it hit it. Like, I mean, it has to have hit the hatch or the hull, and at that angle, the hull was sloped back at a ridiculous angle, and it's quite a good hull anyway, so there's no way it should have penned. So, what that penned, I don't know. But yeah, anyway, thought processes and things. Now, as you see, so far, their team are staying really to one side of the map, and it's really limiting what I can do. Obviously, this is a soft tank. Every light tank is generally soft, but things like the LTTB have got a little bit more armor. You know, the T-54 lightweight. They've got that chance of doing something. With here, not so much. So this thing has very good camo. One of the French, I think the French light tanks have the best camo in the game. Well, I think there's like a couple of French TDs as well, which like tier 2, which have better as well. But as a general, the French seem to have the best. And so that means you should want to play them as passives. But they're actually quite good at playing aggressive. But you can't just play aggressive and you can't just play passive. So it is all about trying to get this right sort of mixture of the two. So you'll see before I was staying quite far back, but now I'm moving up a little bit. I don't think I actually get the kill here, which is quite unlucky. Yeah, and you see accuracy. Like, the first shot, nicely hit. Second shot, should have hit. Third shot, meh, bit lucky. Anyhow, back to what I was saying. So, I spent quite a lot of the game sort of slightly further back. Oh, you'll also see, I got the reload in, and this is me being OCD because of the fact that it put me back on a multiplication of 6. So, yeah. But So I sat quite back, I was moving out, seeing if I was getting spotted. That's a lucky shot on the move. You see there, I suddenly get hit by someone at the back. I look at the sort of alpha. No, I'm not staying there. But I've sat back for quite a while. I've been trying to get, I've got binocs and camo net on this thing. Am I going to get... Nope, didn't get shot. Right, I'm trying... I don't remember this replay very well, which means I'm going to be watching this almost as... I remember roughly what happens, but I'm almost as if I'm watching it with you for the first time. Because this is quite old. But you've got to try and be careful. Like, his Strider's now coming over, and he's actually ended up going to end up being a bit too aggressive, if I remember correctly. But yeah, that's a bit lucky there, letting it aim. Am I going to be able to get the IS-6? Ooh, bouncing off his turret. But this is not the greatest scenario to be in. At the moment, I'm essentially sniping with a light tank, which doesn't have the most accurate gun at the best of times. And that was a stupid shot. And then bounce again. So, I've been playing relatively meh so far. I've only done 600 damage, but there is going to be a lot more damage done. But I've wasted a lot of shots. I've not really done much for those shots. But I've generally been trying to play near the front. But I'm trying to think. There's certain medium tanks, things like your Centurion 1 a bit, I guess. But more things like your Leos, and maybe a bit the STB one, but not as much. Where you don't want to be at the very, very front. You don't have the armor to be at the very, very front. So I said maybe the STB one, because the STB one also has the fact that its gun is atrocious, and so you sort of have to be. Also, one thing you notice in general, I don't fire until my camo net's up, even if I have a shot. That's just to try and avoid getting spotted a bit more often. You see, this game's very close right now, and realistically, considering the way they're camping, we should probably be winning this.
Ready to fire on target.
I forgot what I was saying. Anyway, this is what happens when things do go right, though. Apart from that bounce. You get to unload into Tigers. And then that is an interesting fellow sat back there. And, I can't believe I forgot what I'm saying. Oh, I'm sure it'll come to me. But, yeah, oh yeah, no, I remembered. Hey. STB-1 has that sort of terrible gun, and therefore you generally want to be a bit closer to the front. Now, with this sort of thing, it's the same sort of range as those sort of mediums. You don't want to be right at the back. If you're right at the back, you're not going to get any spotting in. If you're right at the front, well, it depends how you're doing it. If you're right at the front, make sure you're in a bush and you're not spotting. If you're going to be firing, like this sort of position, now it's a map-to-map thing, and you really have to try and... It's trial and error, because there is no map that I can say, right, okay, on this map, you have to do this, because that's not necessarily going to work. In this game, all their team went over to a close quarters area. Now, in a close quarters area, with that many people there, I just can't... There's no way I can pull that off. It's just not going to work. So, what I needed to do was get into a position where... You see that? Yeah, I decided to reload. I probably shouldn't have wasted that second shot, to be honest, but I thought, why not? But you need to kind of get into positions where you can actually do something, and where I've been is allowing me to do at least something, even if it's not a huge amount. Now, that has meant that I can keep myself in the game. I've managed to relatively maintain my health, and I've done a relative amount of damage. I mean, 1200 damage is not that... Well, 1200 hits. I don't actually know exactly how much damage. Now you see here, I've switched away from the APCR for the T-44. I thought about what I've got left. I know I won't be able to kill this guy, and I will be very much relying on my team to do that for me. I got very lucky with that track, and he shouldn't have fired. If it actually had a slightly higher roll on the first shot, he would have died, but I just put those two damaging shots in, and I go away. I should have told the team I was reloading here, but I rely on artillery to kill him, and that's exactly what they do. So I'm now down to 3 shots, and there is 2 enemies, and one of them is a very high health AT-15. I've been, as I said, I've been playing in this sort of nearer the back sort of role, but not too far forward. Now that's not great for passive, but it was more that I expected to have to run away at any point. You could see how little we had on this flank. You could see that the other flank had most of where their team were, most of where our team were. and the last of our team were just camping at the back, who, in a weird way, I'm glad they did now, I guess, because of the position that we're now in. As a result, I'm now in this position where we've managed to really turn this around a lot better than I would have thought we would have. Ooh, thought I might take damage there. The drop physics, if you like, the difference between like when you land and not, is surprisingly varied. I've seen people go off like 10-foot drops and take no damage, and then people go off a foot drop and take a shitload of damage. So I've just realised, I generally try not to swear, and I've just realised as well. Anyhow, so at this moment in time, what I'm trying to do, and is I'm looking at the house that the guy is behind, and what I'm trying to do is use that as a method to get up close and personal. Now you see there, I noticed he was behind the house, and so I've managed to get into the low ground. And you see, I'm not just going to go straight at him, because that would require me climbing up quite a steep hill. So what I'm instead doing is I'm coming up a long way round, so that I have a much shallower hill, getting a real rear end view of him without having to do too much of a climb and giving him too much time to notice. So you think, not really much I can do here. Oh, but I've set him on fire. Is he going to burn? Is he going to burn? Well, you already know he's going to burn. But how's that for a Fadins medal? And this was my second Fadins medal in this day. I don't know how that happened with such a low-pen gun, but that's what happened. And you'll see here the amount of money I lost because of the amount of shots I fired that I didn't pen. You see, I do, as much as I did have a load of APCR, that is more for times where, when I was doing this, I was doing quite a Mark of Excellence grind, and it was more for if I had to get some damage out, I would use the AP first, as I did in that game. But yeah, Fadins medal, and what a lucky Fadins medal at that. I genuinely wasn't even sure whether that would count, because, you know, fire is not really your last shot, but I guess it did. There you go, 89.27, so about 90%, as I said. You can see, not a bad game, not a great game, but I've just thought it'd be quite entertaining to watch one of the luckiest Fadins medals you'll ever see. And I hope my vague rambling on the whole positioning in certain circumstances has sort of helped. I'll probably have quite a number of light tank games at the moment. Once this is uploaded, I'm uploading a video to Sins, showing one of the most disgusting games you'll ever see, because I spam APCR like nobody's business. And it should be a good watch. I look forward to hearing his reactions to it. So I hope you've enjoyed this. I hope you found it useful, and I'll see you on the battlefield.